So Bitcoin miners are finally capitulating. Holders are actually making the same bottom as they made in the previous bottoms with their holdings portfolios. While on top of this, Russia is making stablecoin backed with Palladium. Oh my god, many interesting news in today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Crypto Wealthy channel. And now let's begin. So ladies and gentlemen, in today's episode we do have some interesting data on the Bitcoin, so let's jump into it because many are asking how important this pump today is. And as you can see, not way too significant because the price was in this consolidation phase that we discussed in the previous videos, and you can see that this tunnel is still the tunnel, unbreakable tunnel. So we retested a few times the level of support over here, we didn't break it, and we retested level of resistance quite some time, and it seems like today we managed to actually retest this once more together with the 50 simple moving average. You can see on the daily chart that the simple moving average came down, and it's almost into that zone over here where we retested, and at the same time with this trending level of resistance and this simple moving average making over here the very strong level of resistance, because usually when you have few indicators or the trend lines or significant stuff on one place as we have over here, usually that's gonna be a strong resistance. So until we break this tunnel over here, nothing significant happen. However, it is good that the bulls are actually trying to break it, because some level of resistance or support, whenever it's retested more than once, twice, third, four, or five times, usually that level tends to break sooner or later. However, in this case scenario, I do believe that we are going to return and retest level of support, which I wouldn't like to see because that would be the fourth time, and usually after 4 times you're going to see breakup of some level of resistance or support. As you can see in this case, level of resistance is stronger. We need to see if the support is going to hold. Now also I want to discuss about the RSI, because as you can see we're getting into the level of 50, and that's kind of bullish because usually when the Bitcoin is above level of 50 is into the bullish territory, and that's also good to see. But many are discussing today about the weekly chart, because weekly chart is hitting in the 200 weekly exponential moving average. What you can see over here, this is the very important level of resistance right now on the weekly chart, together with this trend line that we draw on the daily chart. And as I told you, few things, indicators or moving averages or trend lines are pretty much on one place over here together, pushing the price down. So we are still not seeing the breakup. Now if the Bitcoin managed to get above this over here line, then we're gonna have some very interesting development, because Bitcoin may actually bottom over there, as you can see into some situation over here when we were just a little bit below this trend line, or actually simple moving average, sorry, or we retouched it as we had over here. Well, you saw that the Bitcoin actually managed to bounce many times from this average. So I do believe that if we get above over here, we may actually find the bottom over there together with some other indicators. Also remember that the Bitcoin right now is into the bullish territory. We were into the bearish one, which is oversold territory below level of 30, and that's important because usually that could give you also signal for the push to the upside. Doesn't mean it's bottom, but it definitely can push us to the upside. I don't want to leave you with half bullish, half bearish news over here. As you can see, SPX or S&P 500 and at the same time DJI is making the same pattern over here, and it is important because if S&P manages to get above this falling wedge formation, as you can see over here, we may actually see push into the Bitcoin as well, because Bitcoin is following every single step of the S&P 500. And as you can see over here, we are finding some sort of a top on the level of resistance, but that doesn't mean that we are done and that we're gonna return. There is a possibility, of course, but we may actually break this over here, because many people are actually watching this right now. We were mentioning this long time ago when we were actually forming this top over here. You can see pretty clear decline. We got a little bit below, but once you reclaim some sort of level of resistance or support, as you can see in this case scenario V bottom, usually you're gonna see big push to the upside, and we saw that. And as you can see right now, we are on the on this resistance. So if S&P manages to get above this level, I think it's gonna be much bigger push to the upside, because this pattern is visible onto the weekly chart. You can see it's pretty clear, and the weekly charts usually can go pretty high, ladies and gentlemen, can break 20 exponential moving average very easily and get continuation into the bull market, and at the same time to push the Bitcoin in that bull market. You can see that the 14 moving average onto the RSI is broken right now. We will see if the price can actually remain there, and in the next weeks we may actually break this to the upside. So make sure to watch a weekly chart. You can see that we are seeing some sort of a formations for the bottom. These candlestick patterns over here are bottom formations, and we may actually see over here something very interesting development with the S&P 500, because if we break it, I'm going to repeat one more time, Bitcoin will also follow, and the altcoins and your cryptocurrency most probably will follow a little bit later. Now there is more news. As you can see, BTC miners finally capitulating, so we may actually see less pressure from the miners over here. We discussed into one of the episodes about this. Also, we need to discuss about the Bitcoin holding activity, because it seems like we're seeing the same pattern. Let me show you over here from the glass node. You can see that the price and the holding activity is getting across each other one more time, and usually when that happens, it's on the bottom formation, at least as it was into the last bottom formation. So we may see the same thing over here. Whenever we went over this line as well, 80%, as you can see, holding, we saw the push to the upside, so it seems like we're approaching to that line as well. Over here, these two crossed, so that was also bottom formation. The same thing happens right now, so make sure to observe that as well. We saw a lot of signals. However, we need to confirm that with breaking the 20 exponential weekly moving average, with establishing the next higher low and even higher high, and then we may actually get into the continuation of that bull market. We're not gonna get ahead of ourselves over here. Let's wait and see. However, the news are looking very nice. On top of everything, token will defeat cryptocurrency. Russia debates palladium-backed stablecoin. Actually, I think this is one entity that is doing this. Rosbank officially announced on Monday that it became the first partner of the Russian blockchain firm Atomize, acting as an investor in Russia's first digital asset deal with Palladium. As you know, Russians are under biggest sanction in history, I think, and I think this may actually help their economy. We all know that the sanctions didn't do pretty much nothing in Russia, maybe in some sectors, but I think they're working on it. They have prepared this in advance. I read a lot about this many months before a situation in Ukraine started, and I think that the Russians are pretty much prepared for this, and I think they're going to use cryptocurrency space for that as well. So I think this is amazing for the cryptocurrency space. The CEO of the Russian nickel and palladium mining and smelting company Nornickel originally announced plans to tokenize palladium back in 2019 through a Switzerland-based palladium fund, and I do believe that even so this was planned for 2019, they're just gonna speed up the process right now, and I do believe that even the country may actually fund this or help this and push this because it's gonna bring more money into the Russia. And one more chart that rarely who is watching actually this, and it's DXY, so it's US dollar currency index. As you can see, the US dollar is spiking like crazy. It's surging to the upside on 107, as you can see, and this is on the weekly chart, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Since we had the 31st May 2021, you can see that it surged 22%, and I do believe that this needs to have cool down very soon, because when we saw the push to the downside over here, usually this means that we may actually see pump into the markets because the people are not holding the dollars. The feeling in the sentiment in the world and in economy usually is much relieved, so people are not scared. This situation over here, this push to the upside, is fear into the market because people do not want to sell their dollar. They don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and this is one of the main reasons why this is happening. So I do believe when we see relief a little bit, when we see markets bottomed, we're gonna see also dollar coming back into the markets, coming back into the S&P and other markets, and as well in cryptocurrency, because as you know, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, they are risk-driven markets, and we need wish for the risk in order to see the price to the upside. Right now, nobody is actually thinking about that, but it seems like we are getting close to that point. Now, I think this is it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about the markets right now? Actually, let me know how do you feel about the markets right now, because that's the most important clue what could potentially happen. Start from yourself and then watch other people, what they are commenting, how big hate towards Bitcoin and the markets is, and then you're gonna actually approximately know where we are on the chart. I want to thank each last one of you for watching our videos, and until the next update, happy trading and goodbye.